All right, everybody, this is CBSI Presents Tales from the Flipside number 105. We have a gang of people here today. Obviously, comicbookinvest.com for all your comic book speculation needs. CBSIswag.com for all your cool merch that Paul has a shirt on. I'm Deno, a.k.a. the Wax Packs Chaser. Boys, introduce yourselves.
Hey, P-Dubs here. Thanks for having me back on your podcast, guys. Appreciate it.
You're a great guest. It's good to see you.
Yeah, been absent for a while. It's great to be back. I'm glad I could make it. Got some work conflicts in the past couple shows. So
The podcast was going good until now.
That's every time I got to bring you down to earth every now and then.
It happens.
Jon Z. I missed one episode, so I'm not nearly as bad as Paul, but I'm glad to be back.
What's up, guys? This is McClay. Just chilling.
Hey, it's Ben S, and I think I missed as many episodes as Paul.
Yeah, but we missed you.
Right. I do want to shout out Bryan though, because he rocked the top 10 by himself last week. So he's keeping
it was nice and easy, man. 14 minutes gone.
Man, I feel so bad about that.
No, don't feel bad, you guys. It wasn't that bad. It was nice and easy. At least I had the list. I mean, that's the hard part.
Well, someday we'll just let Paul make up a list.
Yeah.
And so we have a special guest tonight. And so I was invited on this gentleman's show for his Star Trek series. And I was honored to be there for the first episode. And he was kind enough to invite me back for number 2. And it's kind of snowballed from there. So I'd like to introduce Michael from Downright Nerdy Podcast. Good show. He's been on YouTube for about a year and blowing up, man. Going well. So
no, I wouldn't say blown up, but hey, thanks so much, Paul. I appreciate it. Yeah, once again, I'm Mike from the Downright Nerdy Podcast. I'm one of the hosts there. Obviously, you see on the screen. I do a pop culture podcast with my girl Riley over there. And yeah, we started about a year ago. We talk everything from whatever movie news is going on, whatever new trailers have dropped. To be honest, sometimes we just talk about what's going on in our lives. We go to cons a lot. Sometimes we cosplay. So yeah, that's kind of what we talk about. And I feel a little responsible for stealing Paul away from me the past couple of weeks because he has been on my show. I'm sorry.
You have better production value, so I understand.
Paul, he came on to our Star Trek Picard prep series, which we kind of went over all the next generation seasons and movies. And myself and another podcaster from Bored and Annoyed podcast, we started a movie review podcast as YouTube show as well, which Paul's been a part of. It's been great and been awesome meeting you, Paul. And thank you guys for having me on your show. It's an honor.
We're just glad to finally do it.
Yeah.
Been in the talks for a while, so hell yeah.
Well, I mean, since you brought it up, I'm kind of digging Picard.
Have you been watching? Are you caught up?
I have. I didn't think I was gonna. And I kind of watched that first one. I'm like, you had to know some more, but it wasn't like you had to be immersed in it.
Did you like the first one though?
It took a little bit of building.
Okay, so
once you got into it, it's like they got to give you a little background. I think they were trying to get it so that you didn't have to be a Star Trek seen everything out there to appreciate it. I think you can kind of jump in and still go, all right.
I'm not a Star Trek fan, and I've probably I think I talked about this last episode, but I just felt, and tell me if I'm wrong here from you guys are Star Trek fans, I felt like the acting was subpar. Other than
from who specifically?
From everybody but Picard. That the chick that, I don't want to ruin it, but the chick that like is the daughter character, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I thought her acting was terrible. I thought that the two characters that are playing his like butlers, that was kind of weird. It just seemed kind of weird. There was something that was really off-putting to me just in the first episode.
So for me, it says 3 episodes in. I think what a lot of people are really trying, are the critics of the show are probably relating it too much to the next generation and the old way that Star Trek used to be filmed, right? And now with this kind of new generation, they're trying to pull in new fans and give it like a kind of a facelift, right? Excuse me. I mean, I think that the nostalgia is probably playing into either the nostalgia or the fact that it's Patrick Stewart, you know, that's surrounded by all these essential newbies to Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
And he's got such a command presence on screen. It's probably tough for anybody to really compare anybody else's acting chops to him.
Yeah,
right? Which
you might be right.
Be great, everybody. But like I said, 3 episodes in, it's like any new show. It takes time to kind of get to know the characters and build a connection with any of them. But 3 episodes in, I feel like I'm not to the point like I was in Star Trek Discovery where I wanted to turn it off every time I turned it on. It's still getting me excited for the next episode, which is fine. The first 2 episodes should have been shown back to back, and then should have just jumped into the third. But
it would have helped.
It is what it is.
Well, I'm a Star Trek minimalist. I grew up with Next Generation. I lived out in the country. We had 4 channels, and that was on one of them. So I watched a lot of it, but I can't say I've watched any of the other stuff. I truly, Patrick Stewart is just awesome. So I'm like, I'm going to watch this regardless. I don't care. Anything he's in is going to be good because of it. So.
And a lot of what from watching a couple of interviews with him, he drew one of the big reasons why he came back to the show, because he denied coming back for years and years and years. But one of his big things for coming back was he kind of wanted to bring a little bit of his character from Logan into that, like that defeated, that broken down kind of a man into Picard. Which I don't know if you guys enjoyed the Logan movie, but I really enjoyed his performance from that.
Logan was great.
No, I didn't know that, but I definitely can see some parallels now.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Picard number 3 yet, but I like it so far.
Have you guys been reading the comic?
I've been told to read the comic, so I've been doing an episode recap with another podcast from down in LA called the Fake Nerd Podcast, and we've been doing these just weekly recaps of them, and he's been telling me to get on the comic book, but I haven't yet. I've been hearing good things about them though. Have you?
The countdown?
Yeah, the countdowns. Yeah.
I think that was only 3 issues.
Oh, was it only 3?
Chad, you are sorry to interrupt, guys, but listener Chad, I got to give it to you, man. Every episode, he's got a zinger. He says, I couldn't get over his floating wheelchair or the butler with all the blue fur. Jordy shot energy blast from his visor. What the hell? I was lost.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He's drinking that gluten beer right now.
Yes, he's drinking something. No, it's Chad. I know he doesn't drink, but, he's getting too excited for X-Men.
That's hilarious.
There's Deno.
The only reason I ask about the comic is because I know it's been in a couple of your lists, Ben, the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if it's because if it's the only reason is because it's the photo cover of Picard, the photo variant, or if the comic is actually any good. So
I do not know. I've not seen it in any stores, so I've not been able to pick it up or read it or anything.
Yeah. I have 5 LCS within 20 minutes of me, and they're all sold out.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's
I've heard
Trekkie mania or actually the comic's good.
I'm noticing people, especially in the YouTube community, that are reading the comic for the first time. They've never shown any interest in Star Trek, and they're saying they loved it. So,
that's great. That's great. I love when that happens.
I love anything to bring Star Trek back. I mean, you guys, I think your guys' bread and butter just is the comic book stuff, and like there's some other like the podcasters that I collaborate with. They're like movie side. Me, it's mainly just Star Trek, and I just watch and read a couple of
everything else around it.
I mean, I don't know if you remember. Maybe it was about a year ago. There was some of those variants that had all the different ships on them. They're really hard to find. I can't remember. It was one of the Star Trek Discoveries or something like that, but it had like all the different ships from all the different series, and those got really sought after People were paying big dollars for those. So I don't know whether or not.
Said it was it like a Discovery Countdown type of? Because everything's like Countdown now.
No, it was. It was. I don't know much about Star Trek. The series was something. Awless. Is that like? Let me look real quick and I'll see if I can.
Ben just gave us the face for the start photo, just so you know.
Oh yeah, awesome! Thanks.
It's always it's a Ben face.
Yeah, I'm usually looking up there somewhere or something like that.
Well, I think the issue too might be that some of the Star Trek fans are kind of getting finally a character that they really have some connection to with Picard back. They're always doing the modern comics are mostly on the modern series, and they haven't had quite the fan base they had, back in the first couple of series. So
yeah, exactly.
I think that's giving them a little bit more of a bump.
Michael, have you watched Ready Room? The
you were the one that told me about that, and I only watched the one for episode 3. I need to go back and watch episodes 1 and 2 again. But essentially what that is Will Wheaton, he does an hour-long video podcast following every episode of Star Trek Picard, and he has some of his guests have been some of the actors and actresses on the show, and it's been really, the third one at least has been really nice. I liked it.
It was the Light of Kahless.
Light of Kahless. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I haven't read it. No.
Yeah. So it was a miniseries, and there was a variant to that had like the ships, and so that people wanted them.
Michael, do you do digital comics at all, or no?
You know what? Not so much. I do have subscriptions to Unlimited and. That's it. No, that's the only one I had. I had the DC one, but then got rid of it.
The Humble Bundle, God damn it, Humble Bundle has a big IDW Star Trek thing going on right now.
Okay.
You
have to send me that link later.
Yeah, it's like I think the max or the lowest for all of it is $15.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Threw it on my tablet, and I'll read it in 20 years or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I have it. That's what matters. You guys got any pickups? I don't know if
I got let me start it off since I got mostly card pickup heavy. I know me and Deno and a couple of the guys, I think Ben, we've been talking a lot about 2020 Tops is coming out or just came out. What I did is I ended up buying, I think Deno also got a couple of the blasters.
I did.
And by blasters, I mean, they're these, or not blasters, hanger boxes. These are what are called hanger boxes, guys. And this is actually something I want to talk about later in the show. But for pickups real quick, these are what hanger boxes are. So the 2020 ones came out at your Walmarts and your Target all over the country, I would say by now. So I bought a couple of those. We opened them up on a Table Breaks episode. I think I opened up 8 of them. I ended up pulling I think 4 or 5 out of 8 hanger boxes. I pulled 5 Jordan Alvarez base rookies. I pulled 3 or 4 of the Gavin Luxes. I pulled a couple of the Aquinos. I pulled basically 3 or 4 of every rookies. I didn't get any big hits. But I did get the Fernando Tatis Jr. short print, which is nice. It's one of the short prints, non-rookie short prints that's actually selling.
One of the coolest ones out there.
Yeah, it's really a cool short print. I really like it. I'm telling you guys, I think this guy is probably one of the best prospects baseball has seen in a long time. I know he doesn't get a lot of hype because he was injured last year, but I think he's probably up there with Acuna. I think he might be better than Acuna. We're going to hopefully we see a full season out of him this year. Go watch some videos of this kid. You're not going to believe how, just looking at him at the plate hitting balls is crazy. And he's just he's a really good prospect, and it's going to be fun to watch him play. I'm not a baseball fan, but after getting in cards, I'm kind of forcing myself to get into it more and give me a reason to hang out with my dad. So
that's a win.
Yeah, that's a win, right? Pulled the Jordan Alvarez Topps Turkey Red insert. But what was interesting is later in the show, I'm going to talk about the hanger boxes. But these 2019 hanger boxes, I bought a couple of last year's hanger boxes of the Series 2, which have all the big rookies. And I pulled this card I've never seen in there. It's a Gary V's top entrepreneurs in baseball of Marcus Stroman. It's numbered to 150, and I haven't seen any of the Gary V cards in there, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
I think Gary V's a good guy.
And then, as you guys can see, they're numbered to 150.
Nice.
Gary V says, "Stop being a bum. Why can't you make it in the world? I got $1 million. Why can't you?"
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. But this is my big pickups of the week, and this is gonna piss off Deno. I know. Deno. Because I had a box of Bowman 2019 Bowman baseball jumbo that I was supposed to open on table breaks, but you guys know me. I can't sit on these boxes.
You're terrible at it.
You are terrible. And I tell you, if you're going to open it, just start a single one and just do it by yourself and open it.
I know. It's terrible. I get little too stoned at night, and it just turns into me opening.
Get yourself a little tripod, put the phone in it, and then just open it in front of a tablecloth, man.
Yeah, well, this is going to piss off Deno, so I just feel bad about this. So, all right. So, what you guys need to know is, so the biggest guys to pull out of that set are first Bowman cards, and the first Bowman cards out of that set are Wander Franco, who's like the #1 prospect in the country, a guy named Noelve Marte, and a kid named Julio Rodriguez. And so those are like and this kid named Joey Bart. So those 4 kids are you're looking for the first Bowman cards of them. So I pulled an autograph of this Logan Webb guy. I've probably pulled every variation color of this guy. So if anybody's looking for a rainbow of Logan Webb, hit me up. I think I got like 50% of the rainbow filled. So
I think second Brian McClay is a Giants fan. I think.
What?
I think Brian Wood. I think.
I'm rooting for the Diamondbacks, but yeah, it is what it is. But so this is my second auto. It's a kid named Bruzdar Graterol, pitcher out of Minnesota. But it's on this Bowman Sterling variant, which was kind of nice. But this was kind of, so you get 3 autos in a box, right? So I pulled my 2 autos. I'm thinking, okay, I got one more hit. Well, this showed up next, and this is kind of cool. This is a red variant, numbered to 5, of Sean Murphy, who's a catcher for the Oakland A's. That's kind of cool. It's a red shimmer variant. Let's see if I can get this. There, you guys can kind of see the shimmer. But numbered to 5, it's 5 of 5, which is kind of cool.
He's a really nice guy. I met him a couple times.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting, because I think that he's probably not the best offensive product, but man, when it comes to defensive behind the plate, he's a stud. So he's a good player to collect. And then I pulled a numbered to 299. I don't know what they call this. It's like a shimmer of one of the 3 kids. This is Noelve Marte. Okay, so this is numbered to 299. It's like a special shimmer refractor or something. So that was really cool. That blew me away, right? One of the 3 kids. And then I pull this. A Mike Trout cracked ice numbered to 150.
Sweet.
Oh.
So beautiful Bowman Sterling Mike Trout. You can't see how beautiful it is because it's just not picking it, but it's got these cool like sapphire design. It's really cool. But that wasn't even the best part. The best part was pulling this. This is probably the second best first Bowman card you could pull in the set. Some argue it's up there with number 1. And I pulled the autographed refractor of Julio Rodriguez, first Bowman.
Sweet. I thought you were going to say you pulled a super fractor of him.
Oh, I wish. I mean, it was unbelievable to get 3 autos and one of them be the stud of one of the studs of the set, numbered to 499, and then to pull a number to 299, a second stud of the set, and then the Trout. I mean, you don't sometimes people talk about Trout and people don't realize how good he really is. But anytime you get
monster,
Yeah, a rare trout card. It was awesome, and I was so mad that I didn't wait because I know Deno was going to kill me.
Okay.
All that is in one box.
That was one box.
Yeah.
That was one box. That was a jumbo box. So this is the last pickup.
Oh,
I got two.
I got two.
So he's gonna open a shitty box on camera next time.
I know, right?
That's how it works.
How much are the hanger boxes?
$12.
So that wasn't out of the hanger box, Paul. That was out of a jumbo box. So these are what Topps Jumbo's boxes look like.
Okay.
And they're 12 packs, and you get 32 cards in a pack, and then you get 3 autos. And then this is the new series. These are the jumbo boxes in the new series. So these will have 1 autograph and 2 relics in every hobby jumbo. So I would rather just have a guaranteed auto, because in the base hobby, the non-jumbos, you're not guaranteed an auto. It's a auto or a relic. So I'd just rather guarantee an auto. And I think hobby boxes are going for like 80, and I paid 120 for the jumbo. So
the jumbos are going for about 150 now.
Okay, so it wasn't bad, and I think that's all I'm going to buy for the Top Series one. We'll get into some of the craziness that's going on later when we're done with pickups, but
I'll go next because my pickup rolls with his pickup. I bought 3. These are the hanger boxes actually, and I bought 3 of these bad boys. They're not the Walmart yellow exclusive ones that are like the yellow cards are like ridiculously going right now. I went to 5 Walgreens and I couldn't find any Walgreens hangers.
Is it Walgreens or Walmart?
Walgreens. So it's in a toy section, and they have a Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like baseball cards, but Walgreens, and they're like $12. I got this one for like $12. I went to Myers. That's why I pulled my Superfractor out of my Myers or my 101.
So do those have the purples in it, Deno?
I haven't opened. You want me to open one? I can try.
Yeah, you know what, man? Open one and see if it has the purples in it. Because if it has the purples in those boxes, then people need to be buying those just as much as they're buying the Walgreens.
There was only 3 in here. There's only 3 at my store. So.
And what he's talking about, guys, is every chain like store chain, Walmart, Target, Myers, Walgreens, they have a different reason why they want you to buy them there. For Walmart, you get Reese Hoskins two special Reese Hoskins cards. I don't know why they picked him. He's not that great, but for Target,
on the back I got a Mike Trout Series 1.
That could be a reverse negative, super short print, my friend. So the Walmart one is Reese Hoskins. The Target player is Vladdy Jr. So you get 2 special like commemorative Vladdy Jr. cards. But the ones you want to look out for are Walgreens, and if Deno opens this right now and he pulls the purple parallels, Myers, because then it's random. You get 5 players, I believe, and they have a special purple or yellow coloring to the card, and those cards are just going for ridiculous numbers. I want to say like the top rookies are there you go, Vladdy Jr. The higher number cards are going, for a couple hundred the higher skilled rookies are going for a couple hundred, if not, 400 or 500.
So if you were a man of my knowledge level, which is 0, and you were going to go out, you had $50 to $100 to spend on taking a risk, where would you go? Walgreens.
Walgreens. Well, as of right now, unless he opens this and he shows that he's pulling the purple, Walgreens, Paul, because you don't even have to open those. You can go and buy those hanger boxes at Walgreens, instantly put them up on eBay. You buy them for $10. I think they're $9.99, and you can instantly put them up for they were selling for $90 the other day.
Whoa.
$10 buy-in, $90. You don't even have to open them. You
there's
can
there's no purple, but there's a Jordan Alvarez I picked up.
Oh, show that again, Deno.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a Jordan Alvarez.
So if that was the Myers one, it would have like a purple instead of gray. And
it looks like. Hold on, it looks like this, boys. I got a couple of them. So it kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
It's purple. It's hard to see, but it's purple.
Pulls it out of a drawer.
I got the turkey ones. They came with the turkeys and the inserts. I don't see any purple. I haven't opened up the whole thing, but I picked up on the turkeys. I got a Tatis turkey, and then I picked up this Acuna Jr. turkey in this one. So, and then I got a numbered card. Tony Gosselin, I guess.
Yeah, that's the gold version. So you guys can see where it says on the side where it says LA.
Yep.
And that's where you see the color. So that's gold. The regular ones are gray. The Walgreens ones are yellow, and the Myers special are purple. I'm not sure where those are coming from, but they're on eBay already. So
and then I got a 2020 of Lucas Giolito, I guess.
Yeah.
Jane Bieber is one of my inserts, and I'm halfway through. Hold on one second, boys. I don't really see anybody. Luzardo, Cabrera. Yeah, I don't see any purples.
Yeah, but for instance, Paul, that's for anybody out there. Go hit those Walgreens up and see if you can find them.
I mean, if you hit a yellow, you're gonna pay for that $12.
Like basically, sports cards to me are like comics to Tim Walker. Just I still have that $50 Meyer card.
So
yeah, no purples in here, bro.
Bummer.
And this is the old Mike Trouty. So Mike Trouty. So.
Michael, you want to go? Dino, I'm sorry. Are you done?
I'm good, dude.
Michael, you want to pull some pickups?
Freaking Ben is kind of screwing with me right now because I'm about to buy that Light of Kalis book for $80 on on freaking eBay right now.
Hey, we do that all the time on here. We do it all the time.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see this freaking mess behind me, but
we can see it and we're stoked, dude. What are you talking about, mess?
Yeah. So
like
there's
a great little comic cave or fan cave.
So about 2 weeks ago, I frequent Let Go a lot. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to like Craigslist or whatever. I found this guy that was fairly close to me selling 1,000 books for $150.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I obviously something like that is either too good to be true or there's a catch or like half of them are ripped or something like that. I don't know. Turns out his wife was trying to get rid of his collection or whatever. I gave him 2 chances to get out of it. Long story short, he said no. So I took him off his hands for $150. He didn't go through it. He said that they're mostly modern books, like from the past 7 to 8 years, and for the most part they have been. But he didn't go through them very well, and I have been coming across a couple of cool things. And actually, crap, I'm very ill prepared for this. But where the hell is it? Hold on a second.
I like his. I like those are the wooden displays I was telling you.
Yeah, those
wooden
doors are so cool.
Nerd, what is that? Nostalgia? What is that? Nostalgia?
The Classy Collector on Instagram.
Who is it?
The Classy Collector.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he builds all those.
Yeah, he goes by another name on Facebook, I think.
Yeah, it may be like Tim something.
Yeah. Yeah, those are nice. I've been eyeing those. I think my wife would maybe get behind him if I could tell her the comics would go away. But
I'd have to stop buying.
Find it right now. I'm gonna end up going through it forever. But I mean, these are not when you think about it, $150, 1,000 books.
That's a good deal.
I mean, that's what, 10 cents. These are not 10-cent books, right?
No.
And the one that I was going to show you is Moon Knight #1 that I found in there.
nice.
Which one? Sienkiewicz?
No, it's the
original.
Oh, the original. Nice.
From 1980 or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if you did 1,000, let's say just put them all for $1.
Yeah.
Buy in.
That's a good new show book.
Yeah, it's 4 long boxes. I mean, that's $35 a long box. That's a good deal.
Darth Vader ones. I even got Zdarsky Daredevil in here just randomly.
And the guy went through. He said he went through them and pulled what he liked.
See, when I hear modern, I think if it's going to be a modern, I think, oh shit, there might be variants in there.
Yeah,
Right? There's definitely some variants in here for sure.
You don't know depression until you went through 25,000 comics of a guy who did not buy a single variant.
Or bought 30,000 cards and didn't have anything.
Oh, there goes one shit.
That's fine.
He'll only pay 10 cents for it.
Yeah, he paid 10 cents for it. He's not worried.
Yeah, I'm not tripping.
Just throwing them around.
I couldn't imagine buying 1,000 comics for that price.
Well, I don't think they were bagged and board because Michael had like a bag and board.
Oh, nice.
So how many long boxes was it?
There were no long boxes. There were all these little totes.
Okay.
And none of them were bagged and boarded, right?
None. I mean, there was a few, but I have to rebag them. I'm super like OCD.
Yeah. When you get a collection,
You're like the rest of us. Yeah, you're any.
And I hate tape. I hate tape a lot. So I got to redo it with like the resealable bags.
Yeah,
I bought 20,000 books, and the only ones that were bagged were Silver Age 3 boxes, but they were from the Silver Age bags. And I mean, I spent so much on bags and boards, it made my head hurt. My wife's like, "You spent more on bags and boards than you did the collection." Yes.
Yeah. I found out that my the LCS that I go to, they were uppricing my bags and boards by like $3 or $4, where I could have gotten them on Amazon. And I'll always support my LCS, but when it comes to bags and boards, I mean, stop it. Just you're nickel and diming me. So I went off to just get the ones over at on Amazon.
I don't know. You're out on the coast, but man, BCW is the best deal for me.
BCW.
Yep.
Because if you do over it's $50 or $100, they do free shipping, and it's like,
no,
I can buy it.
No, it's 1,000.
No, it's not $1,000.
I just got an order the other day, and I paid $80 shipping. So if you're gonna order,
then they run specials then, because I get it all the time. I've ordered maybe $150, something with some stupid small number, like 100 bags or 1,000 bags.
You're only 25 miles from there.
Yeah, but they just offer free shipping. They don't track my location when they've got the ad up.
I thought it was $80 free shipping for BCW.
It's not much.
20.
I'm betting you just got to catch the sale.
I dropped like 300 the other day on freaking baseball card supplies, and it cost me $80 to have it shipped to me.
So listen, I stopped going to my shop for boxes. So when you can ship boxes cheap, I do it. I'm like, fuck, they'll ship me 10 sets of graded boxes for nothing. I'm like, yes, I'll do that.
Oh, here's another tip, boys. I didn't tell you. So CGC, and I don't know because I have a dealer account because I'm special. So CGC, they sent me, the empty boxes that you get like when you submit a 25 set. They charge me only $10 to ship them, $10 to buy them per box. That's not bad for as nice as packaging to do.
Are we talking about the CGC mail it in?
Yep.
Can we circle back to that later?
We got to circle topic. Yeah.
So Michael, real quick, what's your plan? Are you going to sell some of those? It's all for
no. So all this stuff, including the Moon Knight and that Secret Wars, since we're coming up on a couple of like the milestone subscribers and all that noise, I'm going to be giving it away to the community. So once we hit a certain number, I haven't figured it out like exactly what numbers it is. Whatever it is that we come up with, whenever it is we hit it, that following weekend we'll go live, and pretty much every 5 to 10 minutes or so, I'm going to give something away, whether it be a stack of comics or I got a couple of pretty neat little figurines and things like that. I got a stack of maybe 15 slabs. I'm going to give away.
Jesus. Yeah.
Subscribe to get that notification.
Right? Yeah. Make sure you guys do and subscribe.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah.
On IG too, right? You're going to go live on YouTube and IG, or how's that going to work? Or you don't know yet?
Probably just YouTube at that point. I haven't gotten all the logistics figured out yet, and I'm going to announce the giveaway this upcoming weekend. It'll depend on people getting me the subscribers and all that stuff before I actually do give it away. It could happen the following week if it blows up. It could happen 2 months from now. Who knows? But everyone will get a chance, and it'll be very simple to enter. All you gotta do is probably like comment or something like that, and you get in.
Even Paul could do it.
Even Paul could do it. Yeah.
You want me to run through my pickups real quick?
Yeah, sure. I'll go at the end because I'm gonna tie my pickups to some other stuff.
So I haven't been here for a few weeks, so it's work related. I know there's some comments online about Deno not liking me and kicking me off, but it's strictly work related.
We're joined by big sexy Sean Leggett today.
Ooh.
He might leave now that I'm the focus, but so our old co-host Scott sent me a message. He said, "Hey, my LCS has all these Star Trek toys for $5 a piece. Do you want any?" And so I got an even mix of toys and comics, I think.
Scott Reagan?
Yeah, Scotty.
That guy?
He's still alive and kicking.
Okay.
So I'm going to run through these real quick. I got a original board.
Ooh.
Nice.
I got try not to break these. I got Data.
When are these from?
What do you mean?
What run are these from? Are these modern? Are these old? Where are these? What's
This sticker, KB Toys.
Oh my God, that age?
Playmates, yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Those aren't going to be open, but I got to choose, which was cool. So I got a Riker
Ooh.
card in there.
Are those worth anything or no?
They are to me. I don't know.
I would think they gotta be with that age.
Yeah, I would too.
I got a Worf.
And there's like sealed and like in great condition too.
Yeah, they're not bad at all. And then with the new Picard, I got a Locutus. That's the last one
Nice.
that I chose. There was a couple. There was some other good ones on there, but and then man, so on what was the website? Think Geek was going out of business, and I think GameStop bought them. They're having a huge sale,
Yep.
and I didn't buy this toy. I regretted it, and then I finally pulled the trigger. I got it on eBay for a decent price, but it's a Picard figure. Sorry about the glare, but it's a QMX. Like, I don't know. It came with this. I don't know if you can even see it. But it came with this phaser as like the variant piece, but I think it's a slideshow exclusive. I've seen online too. Yeah, the glare is terrible, but I pulled the trigger on that, so I think I'm going to redo this shelf behind me at some point and display him and some other stuff. So I picked that up.
You're talking the Superman shelf or the one behind you? Behind you.
What?
Never mind.
And then I'll save that one for last. So
That's an inside joke because you haven't been on the show.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm glad to be a first-time guest. I don't see Robert Fordham in the chat, but
He's there.
is he in there?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there he is. I'm sorry. Hey, Robert. So, Robert, I did win that, the eBay lot. So I have this in a American version 9.8, but I got the.
Oh yeah,
He
That's
sent me
sweet.
Italian.
that.
Look at you. Who are you?
I don't know who I am. Let me know when you find out. But and then Decoit Cave sent me a couple books. So that's cool. I got this Spawn. That's pretty sweet.
It's
And
a good cover.
I got this Project Superpowers number 5 Matina Virgin variant.
That's a
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, and he gave me a really good deal. So
That's beautiful.
appreciate it.
that made the hot 10 list a long time ago, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And
I love
then
that. The Project Superpowers got some cool books.
yeah, definitely. And so I have on my list the IDW TMNT Global Conquest editions of 1 through 5, and someone put up 1 through 5. They took it down and then they put it back up without issue 4 or without issue 1. So I found issue 1, and just for time's sake, so I got 1 through 5 of the Global Conquest. And the best part, in my opinion, is the number 5. It's one of my favorite Turtles winter/Christmas covers.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So I grabbed that. And my last thing, got this package from Dan Piercy.
I'm afraid to ask.
No, it's all good. He sent me Comics and Beer shirt.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
appreciate that. I haven't seen him in the chat. If I missed you, sorry, Dan, but appreciate that. Finally got on the show to open that. So
Might need to order me one of those.
yeah, they're nice. That's a nice fabric.
That's that comfy shirt.
Yeah, if it goes well, it's over my man titties. Some good stuff. That's all I got. Oh God.
You know, those Playmates You say that and it sounds weird coming out of my mouth, but what were they called? Playmate. Playmate Star Trek figures.
Yeah,
you guys, I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day, there was a figure. I think it was the Picard tapestry figure. That was like $1,000 figure back then.
What?
Yeah, Picard tapestry, if I remember correctly. I remember I was one of those kids.
We spend too much money today.
Yeah, I know. That used to look in the, Wizards or Toy Fair. Remember back when Wizard had a toy section?
Yep.
So I remember just looking and seeing that figure being like that expensive back then and just thinking to myself, man, I can't believe there's a figure that's out you can find for $1,000. That was back, when Wizard was before Toy Fair. So
that's cool.
Anybody out there that remembers that? You got any pickups, Ben?
I just got a few, only because I've been out for a few weeks, but so I'm not going to bore everybody with my big dollar. I did find a big dollar stack, so I did get all of these.
Oh God!
Yeah, but I'm not going to go through all those. I mean,
just going to piss us off because we know there's probably $100 variants in there.
Yeah. So, but there are a couple of the cool ones that I did get out of that, which I actually always wanted. This was it's the Shadow #1. It's an Alex Ross Virgin. Can you guys see that?
Ooh,
and I got two of them.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah, so I got those for $1 a piece, which you don't really see those. It's a 1 in 25, so
It's a good deal.
Yeah, I thought for $1, I'll buy both of those. And this other one, I wasn't real sure. Everybody was buying all these Star Wars books, so there was a Star Wars variant in there. So I was just like, I feel like I remember seeing somebody talk about it before, but it's Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi Force Storm #1.
Oh yeah.
And I got it for $1, but it's like a $50 book.
Yep.
So I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
And then Friday, I was coming back from Thursday or Friday. I was coming back from. I had to drive to Cleveland for work, and so I stopped at me and Jon Z's favorite store at the Bookery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that store. Which I didn't realize that they publish a book about pulps. That's like national. That's like the national guide for pulp books, and they publish it. So I had no idea. But anyways, I was just kind of running through their books really fast, and I found this really cool Witching Hour.
I love that
80, and it's actually a Mark Jewelers.
Oh,
Nice.
shit.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
An older Mark Jewelers, it looks like.
Yeah, that one's from, I don't know when Mark Jewelers started, but this one's from 78. So I don't know how early Mark Jewelers was. And then there was a Weird War #58 with a Hitler cover.
Oh, okay.
That's also a Mark Jewelers.
Well, you take those, kind of like DC variants. If you see them, you take them.
Yeah. So I was those are actually the first two Mark Jewelers variants I've ever had. And then I got this for $5. It was Incredible Hulk #100. It's the green Michael Turner, but it was only $5. So I got the gray in the 9.8 from that last, but I got the green for $5. And then I didn't really want to buy this, but I really didn't have much of a choice for $5. But I did get the Moon Girl 28 Omnipotentus or whatever his name is.
You left me with that one.
Yeah, sorry.
I couldn't remember how to say it, and I couldn't remember.
Omnipotentus. There we go. Yeah. So, anyways, I had to pick it up because I knew it was selling for $50, and I didn't really want to buy it, but for $5, I pretty much had to. So,
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. So, but I do need to. I actually do need to sell some books. I have sold a few, but I do need to sell quite a few.
I need to pay you for one, apparently.
Oh gosh, I need to send that to you. But I still, I got to find
I paid you, so you're okay.
Do you sell them on eBay, or where do you sell them?
I don't generally sell on eBay. I have like a little bit of. What's funny is I've been on eBay probably longer than anybody because I got on eBay back in '98. So I've been
you're the oldest guy too.
Yeah. So I've been on eBay longer probably than anybody, but I really don't sell there. I the horror stories and people just return them for no reason. I just can't stand it. I do try and move a little bit on Instagram, but I'm just so lazy that they end up just sitting on my desk, and then I put them away. And oh yeah, that's right, that I probably should have sold that 3 months ago, and I didn't. So
I made a list with it on it and forgot I owned it.
Yeah, I know. Well, see, that's really bad. I'm the worst. I'm the worst speculator of anybody here. Probably anybody anywhere, to be honest. I'll find them for cheap, and you're supposed to cash in on them, and I don't. I just, oh, cool, I got that for $1. I'll just stick that in a box, and it'll never see the light of day again. So
you're waiting for the hater wave to come through. The hater wave.
Man, I really don't. It's terrible. It's really bad. I was looking for something in my boxes out in the garage or something, and I was like, oh, there's some really good books out here. They're just sitting in a box that I really have no need for whatsoever. Probably should sell them, but nah, I'll just stick that box right back on the shelf. And so
I want to give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat, man. The chat tonight, the live chat has just been awesome. And real quick, I want to give a big shout out to Brian's Comic Garage, because seeing him talk about the tapestry figure when I talked about it, and now we got Mike out there looking for tapestry figures. What'd you find?
700 on eBay for Picard right now. I didn't initially find. I typed in the wrong thing when I was looking for Yar, because Bryan had brought up that Yar and Barkley also had a more of a limited run. But I found one a Tasha Yar one for $275. I haven't found the Barkley one. I don't think anyone's selling them on it, at least on eBay. But Paul brought up a good thing. Maybe I'll go check out a con, see if someone's selling something they don't know what it's worth. Kind of thing, especially those old toys. A lot of people they don't know what
exactly.
Because there's a lot of toys out there that aren't worth anything, and so they just throw it in with the bundle, and be like, "Hey, you
they have those toy bins to like get the kids and all that, which is awesome. But sometimes sometimes you can find gold. But yeah, definitely a lot of people in the chat tonight got Rag 718, Dennis Hayes. Comic Man Andy was in here, Doc Joe, Discovery Bay, Blue Green Artifacts, Sean, Kent, Dennis Chandler, Dennis Hayes. I think half those people are here to see you, Mike, so I appreciate you.
I doubt that.
Paul, did you just have a wardrobe change?
What? Remember the Hawaiian shirt night?
Oh, yeah, great.
It's the power of whiskey, baby.
Our Patreon page actually features the changeover.
Right.
Hey, just as long as you're not doing it like live where we have to see all that.
I double checked the camera was off.
No, you got to pay.
Philip Chung has checked in with us.
What cons do you go to?
Me?
Yeah.
So California, obviously the big one, San Diego Comic-Con. We try to go to that one every year. There's a lot of up here where I'm in the Bay Area, so we get a lot. We got Sacramento Con, we got the East Bay Comic Con, a couple of the we got WonderCon down in Anaheim, LA Comic Con.
Are you going to go to WonderCon this year?
WonderCon's a maybe, just due to some scheduling conflicts. But LA Comic Con is almost for sure a go down, it'll be in, I think, the last week of September. The only thing that would prevent me from doing that would be if I go to Hawaii instead. So,
I find it very interesting how WonderCon has kind of become the go-to con for people that are comic fans, because they're so tired of the way what San Diego has become. And it sounds like WonderCon is probably the go-to con on the West Coast. Am I wrong?
WonderCon, I would actually almost even venture to say that LA Comic Con is just as much or more comic related than the other ones. But yes, San Diego Comic Con. I mean, they might as well have like for most cons, you see like Artist Alley is a small little part of the entire con. That's essentially what the comic book part of San Diego Comic Con has become. Kind of sad, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you do get to see, like, if you're into the movies and TV aspect of it, and meeting your favorite celebrities, and yeah, it's kind of neat. We're for LA Comic Con, and actually we're gonna start doing a couple of the smaller cons up here that are maybe like 1 or 2 dayers. We got a couple panels set up, which is kind of neat. So it'll be our first time. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about, but it'll be kind of fun. We got a couple local guys here from the YouTube comic community. I think JB from Discovery Bay was in here earlier. I want to try to set something up with him since he's like 30 minutes away from me.
Yeah, big shout out to JB, Discovery Bay. If you guys aren't checking out Discovery Bay's channel right now, he's doing some really cool stuff over there. So big shout out.
Really cool. Every time he does those pop-up shops where you can just grab books for $1, and then at the end you just see how much a pile is and pay him accordingly for shipping. Man, it's tight. I love it. Yeah. He's doing some really cool stuff, and I don't want to steal any of his ideas. So I'm trying my best, JB. Man, he comes up with some good ideas.
Hey, before Z does his pickups, though, I got the question that everybody's probably wondering: what do you cosplay as?
That's what I was going to say.
Oh man,
Picard.
Picard.
We started out as Worf. I started out as Worf before I met her. But actually, you guys would actually probably get a kick out of some of these. Give me a sec here.
Yeah, you made the Worf sash.
Yeah, I did make my own Worf sash. My sister used to be a theatrical makeup artist out here in the Bay, and she worked on a couple of like TV shows that were based in San Francisco, like an emergency room type of show where you need like scar tissue, things like that. But let's see if this will move in here. That's me.
That's excellent.
Nice.
Focus in. Come on,
Man.
Let's see.
I love that shit.
Fans.
Oh, that's cool.
How long does it take you to get ready?
3 hours of makeup.
Wow.
3 hours for makeup? Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
almost as long as getting it off too. So here's the one that you guys, we were talking about Randy Savage before the show started. Now this ain't Randy, but me and her is The Rock and Alexa Bliss.
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's cool.
Don't focus.
At San Diego too.
Yeah, it's at San Diego. God, sorry, it was terrible.
No, it's okay. It sucks on focusing.
Yeah, and then the last one we did, she made the costumes for this. This is kind of neat.
Oh, that's good.
We sometimes try to do things that are lightweight relevant. This year, I think we're gonna shoot for. She wants to do Gamora, and I'll do Drax.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That'd be kind of fun. Plus, it gives us motivation to eat good and all that stuff. The stuff that I hate.
I love hearing that, because that's a part of the I guess what do you want to call it, pop culture society that we don't talk to a lot, and that's the con goers that do the cosplaying, and it's such a huge part of our group that we have, that I'm glad you're on to talk about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it usually takes us about 2.5 to 3 months is usually our prep time for either getting the costume ready or making the costume right. And like I was telling Paul before, when I did Worf, it took me, God, how long I can't remember how long it took me. It took me like maybe 3.5 weeks of maybe 4 to 6 hours a day, no breaks, of making the Worf sash, and it's made out of bolts and staples and intertwined leather. And it was just
wow.
It weighs like 20 pounds. I tried putting it on the other day, and I was like, no, this is stupid. I'm not putting this thing on again.
We've been trying to get McClay to cosplay as Fabio or something like that for years.
Hell yeah.
He just won't do it.
Big Lebowski.
I like to go as Healthy Jesus.
Healthy Jesus.
I wanted to ask you, Michael, real quick, give you the spotlight for a minute. Just tell us the quick history of your channel, because you've been on for about a year. Looks like you got a good room. You got some cameras in the background. What's a quick shout out to your history and how you became to YouTube and all that good stuff?
Okay. Let's see. So before, so maybe about 3 months before, maybe 4 months before we started the podcast, we were kind of at a little change in our lives. She started going. She wanted to go back to school to be a nurse, and 100% supportive. And but I realized like one of my biggest things is I believe that we all need a certain balance in life in general, just to stay sane, both mentally and physically and all that stuff. And those 3 prongs for me were work, family, and then we all need a hobby of some sort, just to that we can just kind of get away from everything, right? We watch a lot of movies, things like that. We love talking about it. We talk about it with our friends, and we're like, hey, you know what? How about this? In order for I think probably my best way to be able to support you is to make sure I don't interrupt you when you're studying, and I don't bug you when you're studying. So how about this? How we do this? We'll start a podcast. I got a bunch of comic books anyway. I could talk about that. I could talk about Star Wars, Star Trek, all this stuff for hours on end, and it'll probably take me like all day, all weekend to edit a video anyway. And during that time, you could do your homework and all that stuff and study in peace. And essentially, and that's pretty much what it's come down to. And the great thing is that, I mean, she works 40 plus hours a week, and she's going to school full time. This hour and a half that she gets with me on like a Saturday morning to do the show, that's her like break from reality. That hits that 3rd prong for her, right? And her having to like watch shows and things like that are part of that 3rd prong of balance for us. So it's all working out. And the only thing that right now is that I'm trying to figure out is I've actually started to get a little better with the editing, so it's not taking me as long. So I've started to add new shows, which is why, Paul, you were on a couple new shows recently, and I'm starting this new venture with the Bored and Annoyed podcast and Fake Nerd podcast, and it's been a ton of fun. The reason why we got onto YouTube is because I always had this vision before we started to kind of model the podcast after Joe Rogan, where he had it on the video and on audio podcasts. And what I did not expect was falling into this comic book community and just finding this group of people that have been doing this for a few years already, and just enjoying the living. I mean, I probably watch more YouTube than I do like actual TV nowadays, which is kind of fun. It's something very unexpected, and some of the friendships and things that I've gotten out of this community. It's been very humbling, and I've been very, very grateful about it, to just be a part of it. Yeah, man, like I said, like when we come across these like big what you call it, like milestones, like next week's our 50th episode, and
nice.
we're creeping on, yeah, thanks, appreciate it, man, creeping on 500. Like we used to do this weekly giveaway thing, and to be honest with you, I was just so bad at going to the post office that I forgot like one of them, and I sent that person like 3 or 4 extra things that I felt so bad. So I think what I'm going to start doing is just like on the milestones, like do these big giveaway things, and because I mean, in all reality, for me, like all this stuff, while it is important in my life to keep the balance, these are all still just things for me. Like if this thing rips right now, I'm not gonna. It's not really. This is more for just that third prong of balance for
I think that's very important, man. That's very important, especially for somebody who's part of this community to say, is that the important thing is the people you meet in the community, how you represent yourself in the community, right? You want to make the community better. Yeah. The comics and stuff are just things, but yeah. I was talking to a buddy the other day, and we were talking about how bad some of the local cons here in Phoenix have gotten. And we were talking, we're like, I don't even go to the cons anymore here in Phoenix to buy comics. I go to see people in the community. Yeah. And that's the important part. So I'm glad that you said that, man.
And it's very interesting. I mean, like I hear stories of people who have 200 subscribers, and from people who have 9,000 subscribers, and they say that literally YouTube has saved their lives. Like they were like before they had this, they maybe didn't have any friends, or they didn't have they didn't have that third prong of balance that I keep keep spewing out. And once they were able to get that, almost everything around their life was actually able to kind of refocus, and they became healthier. They were able to just mentally just find a way to have this as an outlet. From those other two, because those other two things could be very stressful, right? And if we don't keep that in check, then I'm sure everybody hears horror stories of what could happen, with bad stress. But on the flip side of that, like a bunch of people in the community are like almost like, I don't know how many, but a ton of people are going to MegaCon in Florida, and I've been actually thinking about going out there to go, not because there's anything at MegaCon that I want to see. I just want to see these guys, in person and go hang out with them and, shoot the shit with these guys. And,
Exactly.
I don't know it's so crazy. Like me thinking about going all the way to Florida, not for the con, but just see these guys at the con, right? Like these guys that I see every day on the YouTubes.
We've all kind of done it in this group. Is we pick a con a year and just kind of go hang out.
It's so cool to me. It's very new to me, which is just surprising and really neat. I like it.
It's funny how quickly the con becomes secondary.
Right? Yeah.
Until you see what your buddies picked up, and you're like, "Oh, I guess I should."
Yeah.
And then it's
taking more seriously.
One-up game, and
So real quick. So speaking of that, our movie review that I've been, thanks for having me a guest on. Hopefully, I can make it next Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my pick for if I would have won the wheel?
Yes. What would you have picked?
Because my wife talked me out of it, so I have another pick that is
just
better.
A little background, just for the guys here and guys in the chat. So during our it's kind of similar to, I don't know if you guys watch Modern Men on the Comic Course channel, where every week they review a different movie, or not a movie, but a comic book. And at the end, the next book is chosen by one of the panel members and or someone from the chat, right? And that's kind of the same thing we're doing with this, except for movies. And it's been a ton of fun so far. And I think the first movie we did was a Japanese movie called One Cut of the Dead, which Paul didn't watch the entire movie.
which was the Paul's problem, because I watched the first 2 acts and then I was like, this is not for me. So I fast forwarded through part of the 3rd act and then I stopped. I made it like 52 minutes, and the 3rd act is what brought it all together and made it, worthwhile. And so that was my Paul's problem. Is my first guest appearance on this video, on the movie review podcast, and I don't finish the movie because I just couldn't. It wasn't. It was for me. So that was Michael Paul got to experience a live Paul's problems, but we have a wheel that we spin. So it's either who's on the show gets to choose, or the audience gets to choose. And so I teased Michael. I didn't win, so I'm not going to choose this movie if I win next time, because I have a better one in mind. But I think it was because I didn't like One Cut of the Dead that I was like, all right, well, I'll throw a bad one at you guys too, kind of get you guys back. But that I liked, and that was Kevin Costner, Waterworld.
Oh, okay. So we just got Riley. We go to Universal Studios every year for Christmas. It's like our little yearly trip, and they have the Waterworld like show there. That's still a thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's still a thing, and it's the best thing at Universal Studios.
That's
like,
bad.
and she's like, I want to watch the movie. And I'm like, no, your experience is gonna be ruined if you watch this movie. Just keep it.
I like the movie.
And you'll be happy.
Really on this one.
He has gills behind his ears.
I love it. I want to see it again so I can
Holy shit.
know that I like it, or know that I made a terrible mistake.
I just remembered that he has gills behind his ears.
Yeah.
That was my choice. I have a different movie in mind, but that if I would have won, that's what I would have chosen.
So so this week we had to watch National Treasure. The Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage being somebody.
That's not a bad movie.
No.
We watched it last night. It wasn't the worst Nicolas Cage movie.
But Tremors was Saturday. We got to jump back a little bit. Tremors was Saturday.
Tremors was good.
Great movie.
This coming Saturday is National Treasure.
Yeah, and I already got to go. I got 3 movies in my head right now clanging for if it lands on me. So I'm pretty excited.
I love the wheel. I think it's great. So,
Oh gosh, Mike, what did he say? Postman? Jesus.
Oh God, that's terrible.
I've saved the audience from Waterworld.
So what if you don't watch the movie that you're supposed to?
No, that's the new rule because
that's
of
the
me.
rule to be on the show. Is you gotta watch it.
The whole thing, though, is the
Is
rule.
Paul gonna get a quiz next time?
What's that?
Is Paul gonna have to have a quiz before you put him on?
I might have to. I don't know.
God.
Well, Z, I feel terrible because we totally skipped over your pickups, brother.
I know.
That's all
I
right.
put you off to give Michael the spotlight a little bit. So thanks.
Sorry.
For
All
bearing
right,
with me.
we got time. We don't have anything else to talk about. Shit.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's hear your pickups.
Got butter.
All right, so this week, as always, I seem to really be drifting off the fucking reservation more and more.
Is that a Castle Grayskull shirt?
Yeah. This is a Super 7 Castle Grayskull shirt that
Did Dan
picked me up
Purity
a few
send
years
that to you?
No, Sean did a few years ago.
That's awesome.
I have been really just going more and more in the damn foreign books. I'm sorry, all of you that have to watch me on Global Comic Safari, and then now here watch me here. But I picked up two of the best. Same one. Two more Italian 300s.
Oh, damn you. Damn you, dude.
How nice.
One's just average, but the other one,
So for
it's
those
not
who-
gonna get into the 9.2, 9.4 range, but it's pretty nice. And I had the first Italian that shipped well in my entire life. So I even wrote him an email and said props to him and thank you. And if you got more books, I'll buy them.
So for those tuning in to listen to Michael as the draw to this episode, Jon Z, has a show, Global Comic Safari, which is growing in fame and fortune. But our foreign comic books from countries all over the world are gaining popularity because they're seeing some light. So these are some of those issues. And so those are on the Flipside channel, Global Comic Safari. Check it out. But
Yeah, and I've been the guy that
it's just cool.
I've been diving into this little bit of the hobby for probably about 4 years, and this is probably the favorite book of mine. I've got one on the wall behind me. This is not quite as nice as that one of a 9.2, and our friend Koi Cakes has the only 9.4 on the census. But this one's an Italian 300. It's Lomo Ragno. Jesus. 91. Even better part of this one is it has ASM 299 and 300. So if you want to argue first appearance, it's got both. But it has this just sweet black cover that I think is one of the only ones that beats the original. So
yeah,
all the homages, all the crap out there. This one is awesome.
Well, and it says Venom right there on it.
Absolutely. So I don't know. I've been buying these up. I traded one for some stupid reason this week too, but I wanted to get something else that I needed. So that's okay. And then the next book I picked up, I don't know if you guys will appreciate, but it is within the foreign collecting world one of the kind of Grail type books. It is Star Wars 1. Let me get focused. SuperComix, which is out of South Africa. This is a really monstrously thick book. It's 116 pages. It's actually Star Wars 1 through 4 in this issue. South Africa is notorious for not letting comics come out of there. Not necessarily that they don't exist. I don't know whether they do, they don't, but they're not very trade friendly with getting them out in the world. And in the Star Wars 1 set building thing, this is one of the absolute most difficult. So very, very tough to find. It is only a 2 because one of the 116 pages is detached. And I don't think that's uncommon for a book of this thickness in a country that's not known for taking care of it. I paid a pretty sum for it, and I am still happy with it. As we've talked about in the past, this is one of those things where Star Wars collectors can get into it, comic collectors can get into it, international collectors can get into it. It's one of those kind of cross genre books, and we all know Star Wars fans are rabid. So as more and more of them have kind of gotten all the toys they want, they look for other things to collect. And these are those kind of things I'm thinking are going to be of interest long term. So
very cool.
So, So JJ Maxwell asks, what marketplace can you buy foreign comics on besides eBay? And then I was going to ask you to explain why that book is in a CBCS case and why foreign comics should be in theoretically a CBCS case, unless I'm wrong.
Multi-part question there. It's a very long answer for JJ Maxwell where to buy them. A good place to start is Robert is well aware of it. Join on Facebook Foreign Comic Collectors Magazine official group, or Global Comics on Global International Comics on Facebook. These are two international collectors forums. Matt is in Foreign Comic Collectors Magazine official group with me, and Robert. This is a network of people that can kind of buy, sell, source, as well as just teach you about collecting. Each country has their own thing, and that's too big a list to get into. I mean, some of them can use international eBay. You know, with Eastern Europe, it's pretty common. But as you get further and further away from the European continent or group, it's harder and harder, and they've all got their sub-sites, and even within that, it's hard to purchase them. So, very complicated answer. Why is it in a CBCS case? Truthfully, because the international community has drifted towards CBCS because they put a lot more effort into accuracy on the label and making sure things are right and getting you the right country of origin. If there's posters, pins, inserts that are there, they do a little research. Tim Bildhauser, who's visited on an episode, is actually the foreign grading kind of expert's a term he doesn't like to use, but he has the research to know this book should have this or should have that or where it came from. So they're very good on the accuracy. CGC has had several examples where they've graded some things maybe not quite right, labeled the Brazilian one in our, a different South American country, or they've missed that it's a facsimile edition, or they've missed a reprint, some of those kind of things. They just don't have a subject matter expert, so that some of those things slip through the cracks. So
yeah, big shout out to Matt Roybal. Matt is a wealth of knowledge on this subject, and Matt and John and Robert and everybody involved on this side of it, the CBSI side and the Flipside crew and especially the Global Comic Safari crew. You guys are really doing good things. This will be one of the last times that I tout you guys as doing an amazing podcast. I'm just joking, but I feel like I do it every show because it's so good. You guys are doing such a good job. So for those of you guys that aren't watching it, make sure you guys go check out their show, Global Comic Safari. You can find it on the Flipside YouTube page. So much shout out to them. They're really doing some things in the comic collecting, continuity group, whatever you want to call it, that are making some people say, "What the hell is that?" So good job.
Thank you. I had one more pickup that wasn't really books. We're doing our first kind of product review tonight. Paul kind of hooked us up, and
I wrote this. I'm so sorry.
Paul got a hookup?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
This is the kind of gentleman I am. I got a good.
What's going on?
And I said you should reach out to my friend Jon Z.
Working on a display wall. I'm kind of not really doing very well on moving it forward. So Paul said, "This guy could use some help. Talk to him." So talk to the gentleman there at the Collector's Resource, and they are a display case type company. So they make these display cases for raw and graded comics. I picked just a cover that I enjoyed for this one.
Well, hold on. Where's that from? That's a beautiful cover. Where's that from? I haven't seen that.
It's an independent called Pulp Tattoo, and I just thought it would pop in a frame. So
that is beautiful.
Absolutely. And the black on the black, it looks really, really good. I put this in here because it depends on some things I've learned purchasing it. Very nice product, quick and easy to take in and out. It's just got some hinges, and you pull it out and you put your book in. This particular book is not very expensive, and it fits a little better in this case without the bag and the board. You could do just the bag. I don't know that I'd recommend the board. It kind of ruins the display feature somewhat unless you really, really line it up well. They also have what they call the museum display, which if you purchase it with your item has display glass that will filter out 85% of the UV light. So that's nice. I'm always hesitant to display my books because I'm worried that they will, fade. So that takes a little bit of that worry out for me. So I was really thrilled to find that. And it just looks really, really sharp. Like I said, you can definitely put a bag in there. They do recommend using the MyLights or Mylar versus the traditional bag because they'll fold and kind of wrinkle a little bit. But they're just really, really sharp. Easy to hang, just your either mounting screw and slides in and holds in place. So really, really happy with that. I'll probably mount them for next week. I just kind of wanted to show them off this week.
What are the cost on those?
So
we'll have it put up on the website. I do not remember. There's a lot.
I got it right here. It's
thank you.
$26 for the graded ones, and whoops.
There's a little bit of an upcharge for the museum.
That's the one. Yeah, that is the one for the museum. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Some small notes that I kind of got just fitting and going with them. Make sure you read about the sizing and all that. He's got some helpful FAQs and some videos on there. But there's different size frames. The graded one I've got an example of. I chose
the book that started it.
This is a very important book to CBSI.
It is.
I chose an older CGC case just because it's a little thinner. The thicker ones, they will fit. If you notice, this fits perfectly in this frame. Lines up really, really nice. The thicker ones stick out just a little bit, so you've got to loosen these hinges to make it go. You could also go the route. They've got a Golden Age frame, which is just a little bit thicker. So either way is possible. The Golden Age is a little bit more expensive. So whatever your preference is, if you go with the modern slabs, they're going to just stick out a little bit more. So I kind of like the fit on this one. I did test. The CBCS slabs will fit, as well as that other company we don't talk about much, the Zombie Killers. But looks really, really sharp. Also, they've got the museum display. It's not glass on it, but it's an acrylic type thing. So it filters out 85% of the UV. Really, really nice. Easy to put together. And like I said, there's some adjustability with two different layers of where you would put the screws in, as well as, tightening or loosening it based on the size book you're dealing with or size slab. So
do CGC cases filter out any UV?
No, but you can buy something to put over them.
And that's ultimately what is going on here. I'll show you on this one.
I was only thinking if it said 85%, and then the CGC case on top of that would pretty much filter most of it, almost all of it out, right?
Yeah, it goes
between. It's a difference between keeping your books in a box where they're in the dark. Books, out on display in a basement where they don't see sunlight, or your office is on the main floor and you have to worry about the sunrise and sunset.
Absolutely. I'm already in a basement, so I'm not too stressed, but this is a very, very thin piece for the graded ones. Like I said, the raw books were a little bit thicker product, just because you're not got the case to stabilize is kind of what I took away from it. Also, you kind of need a little more space on this frame for stability, but very easy to take in and out. They look really, really sharp. I've had the floating displays in the past, but I really like this look, and I think I'll be kind of converting some more books to this. One last thing that I got sent, just because I kind of inquired about it more for the global comic group. I think I showed this book off in Global Comic Safari, but I've shown it off here too. They have some of these side-by-side displays, as well as lots of other ones, 3 and 4 book ones. This one I just kind of like, because this is actually the same book, but it's a flip book. So it has Marvel Spotlight 5 and Werewolf by Night 1 on the same thing. So I took 2 copies and kind of showed both sides. But if you had two international editions you want to show side by side, you could do that. They have a connecting cover version where they take out the divider. So lots and lots of great options there. Again, just got to kind of do a little research on the size and the fit of the book. It fits standard books really, really well. But if you're kind of getting into some of the thicker, 48 or 64 or above type page books, you may want to go with the Golden Age fit. Again, this has the museum display filter. So really, really happy with it. Going to kind of see what looks good and maybe step up my display game here in the near future. So,
do they come in other colors besides black?
I do not think I saw other colors on the site.
I'm on it right now.
That
doesn't look like it.
No, and they are all one piece. It's not like hinged frames where they're popping apart together. They are all molded as one solid piece. So that is really nice. Gives it a sharp look and, very, very stable. So
coming to
a big fan
for you
of the collector's resource. Check them out. They have all kinds of things. Like I said, 3, 4, 5 book displays. There's like a picture fan wall display there. So real cool stuff.
Yeah, I think they look super sharp.
And it's a very reasonable rate versus kind of framing at, professional framing, some of that stuff. So for what we're doing and to kind of get a couple of nice books that you've already put a lot of money into and have a nice sharp frame, it is a good way to do it.
Yeah. Any chance you can get this hobby out of a box onto a wall to display as art, take it. I mean, whether it's, collector's resource, thecollectorsresource.com, these frames that John just showed off, or if it's a raw bag and board book and you're using, these black hangers and
all problems version
and a thumbtack. Like, I don't care what you use. If you can get your hobby out of a box, the books you love on the wall to display, do it.
Amen.
Don't clip the book, though. I mean, clip the bag and the board.
It's kind of neat. Also on here, they have protective cases for your pop figures, your Funko Pops, if you guys are into those kind of things.
Bryan, did you have that site pulled up? Just kind of shows people a little bit of...
It's kind of neat.
What we're looking at.
Only $10 and looks like it completely encases your Funko Pop.
Yeah, it's I'm sorry, I had it going, but
got Googling too much, didn't you?
I did.
I mean, there were some things that I just like, wow, those are outstanding. Some of just the different layouts and things they had. So big fan. I've kind of looked at them before and just was lazy. So thank you, Paul, for kind of pushing me over the edge to kind of step up what we're doing.
So, but I mean, it's exactly, how not a book fell off the wall, but whether it's a frame or if it's a floating mount or whatever. I mean, let's say you can afford 2 of these mounts, 1 of these mounts. It doesn't matter. You can rotate those. Let's say it's, you have your favorite Halloween book, your favorite Christmas book. Like, get what you love out, and it's like a coffee table book. And if you don't have friends over to talk about your coffee table book, whatever, just it's what you love on the wall versus in a box with a lid on top.
Oh yeah,
and that makes all the world of difference.
We go to the comic displays for me, Bryan.
Yeah, and the pop ones were very, very cheap. I mean, for what you're getting, I think you got 10 of them for $16. Does it look like? Here's the comic displays. Which one do you want to see? The one I liked was the connecting cover ones.
Absolutely, those were just awesome to kind of look at all the variety they had.
Oh my god! Yeah, the kick-ass, the Walking Dead one, like
3 and 4 book connecting covers.
Because I wish that CGC had like a one for at least a 1-issue connecting cover front and back. That'd be nice, but even if it was a no grade, like just something to get it on the wall, get it out of your box, out of your closet or whatever.
Yeah, Paul, you talked about this kick-ass one. This kick-ass one looks really cool. There's a 4-issue connecting cover. And he's totally right. Paul is 100% right, and especially for some of these connecting covers. These connecting covers are so beautiful that they need to be displayed, and it's a perfect way to display them.
So yeah, and you know what? If you want it to be a red frame to match your kick-ass, then buy the black one and spray paint it. Who cares? Do it.
We don't endorse Paul's methods, but
without the books in there.
Yeah. I would take the books out first. I would maybe use some painter's tape. If you live in an apartment, maybe go on your balcony.
Oh yeah, show that flipboard thing. That is really.
Yeah,
if you don't really want to hang stuff, that's a great way to kind of get some books up, and you can hide it when the wife gets mad at you.
I have one of those. My wife has one of those.
So you go to a con, you meet a beautiful cosplay girl. She takes her cosplay off behind the curtain of your books. I mean, this is a beautiful week. It's a Hallmark movie right there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But these, I mean, for real though, I mean, there's some beautiful displays, to be honest. And I think this company has been in business for at least 10 years.
Yeah, they've been there around a while. So it's a quality product. I'd kind of talk to the owner. He's doing a little retooling for as the CGC cases evolve and everybody's cases are evolved. He's trying to, keep up with their changes. But like I said, it's a nice looking product at a really good price.
He's got one. He's got a 98% UV safe clear acrylic fronts that you can buy, which is kind of interesting. So it's basically the same type of thing. You just put it on there, and so you got 98% instead of 85%. So if you guys are really worried about the UV filtering, you can do some cool stuff at this site. So definitely check it out.
Absolutely.
The collectorsresource.com. So remember, it's collectors with an S, resource.com. So check it out. Very cool. I love stuff like that. I spent a lot of money back in the day at it might have been them. I can't remember which website it was, but I bought a bunch of frames that they were making before the molding, where they would actually have to put it together and this and that. And I think I bought like 100 of those or like 50 of those, and I still got boxes of them sitting out in the garage that I need to put up. So very cool stuff.
Yeah, and it's hard to find a good looking frame that fits a book like you want it to. So these are a really good fit for what it was, and I am not a detail-oriented person, but I put them together pretty quick and got them going. So
yeah, we're getting close to the end of the night.
I want to cycle back to one more thing we talked about.
That's exactly okay. Go ahead.
The CGC.
Yes.
Okay.
So one of the things that we want to talk about is an interesting piece of news that CGC came out with, I think, last week that I think is genius. I think it's probably one of the smartest things they've done in a long time. And they have decided to, if you guys want to send your books to CGC, and you can contact them and they will send you out shipping material to send your books in. And which is amazing, because one of the first things that you go through being a comic collector that's never sent in graded books is you're so worried about sending books to CGC. And I think two things that's so smart about it to me. One, they're giving you the materials for free, right? It's free. Is it not free?
No, it's not free. It's not free. But
it's not free?
No. It's a minor charge. It wasn't bad. Was it $10 or $15 for the smaller set and maybe 20 for the larger set of 25 books. So it's not bad. I think it's built for the novice person, that person who sent it in for the very first time or doing it for the first couple of times. Like I said, I am pretty sure it's $15 for the smaller 10 book one and 20 for the 25 book setup. So,
I hated on this at first because I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is like, just you go to the grocery store, you buy your groceries with a paper bag and you wrap your school books. But I get it now. And I think it's awesome that.
Well, I'm not saying you have to buy them. If you've sent them before, you can definitely do it. But for somebody that's like worried about it and doing their first time, it's a nice little idea.
I think it's great. I hated on it at first, really, guys, because those with experience have these materials. You buy books on eBay, whatever, you save the bubble wrap, etc. But I think it's great. I think it's amazing marketing on CGC's side, and for new collectors, and that's what people forget on Facebook, wherever else. Every day, people are coming into to this for the first time. So I'm going to buy this for the first time for what, $15? Okay, get this thing together. Send my books in, and then I'm going to buy some books off eBay, maybe 6 months down the road, and be like, oh, I can do this on my own. I want to test it. I think it's good. It's good.
They give you a CGC pen. I mean, how awesome is that?
Oh, see?
A pen.
Tails.
What's up with the CGC sticker, the 9.8? What's up with that, man?
Marketing.
This is still not foolproof, though, right?
You
still have to actually know what you're doing. You can't just randomly put this stuff together, right?
Oh, there's some videos though.
No,
you know what this does? This makes it easy for them to unpack books.
Yep, it's genius.
Yeah, it's genius on their part.
No one's done it before. It's their first to market. They're doing it. Good for them. Pat on the back. I think it's cool.
Am I going to pay for it? No, but for somebody new that's sent them the first couple times, yes, you are. If your post office is terrible, yes, you're going to pay for a bomb-proof type packaging.
So the small shipping kits, which is for 1 to 10 books, is $15, and the large shipping kit, which is 11 to 40 books,
40. I was off by
is $20.
Hold on. Is that $15 shipped to you, or do they make you pay shipping too?
That's
going to piss me off if they make you pay shipping.
There's a shipping price.
Now here's what's next. You're a first time, or not even a first time, with your CGC membership renewal or first time purchase of a CGC membership.
Go to checkout.
Do you get one of these packs? That's what's next for them, in my opinion.
They should roll it into the membership. That's a good idea.
Sure. Just maybe your first one, not every time, but your first submission. That's what they should do next.
That's going to make me go through the whole thing, so I'm not going to deal with that.
Oh, there's a shipping. I played with it.
Well, that's, you know what? I was really all for this, and now I'm a little pissed off, man.
Yeah, you're where I was. I was against it immediately. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I have cardboard. I have bubble wrap. I have this stuff. But I think it's for the now. I think you got to ease new collectors and new.
You're a first-time collector going to spend a couple $100 in grading or more.
Yeah,
you're going to spend another $30 to get supplies to get it in there safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pin.
It makes it easier on them. That's to me. At first, I thought it was free, and I guess nothing's free, so I shouldn't have even thought that. But at first, when I thought it was free, I was like, "Oh, that's genius!" Because they're gonna, there's so many people that are probably sitting back, scared to ship books, but now this will have them ship their books to them, and it makes it easier on them to receive books because they don't have to tape. Some people send their books. I mean, Sean and Trey used to get so mad. Sean not used to. Trey used to get mad at me. Sean still probably gets mad at me when I ship him my books to press because I treat that thing like it's my AF-15, man. I got like 4 boxes in there. I'm super worried that they're gonna get messed up on the way there. So I ship that thing crazy. But they aren't going to have to deal with that now. If people start doing this, it's going to be easy for them to get books out easier. So they're doing it to make their lives easier. And
DS says they're making a huge profit. I'm not saying they're not. They're making a great deal on it, but there's a market for it. Some people are going to buy it.
I think
they did research before this came out.
I guess my question, and maybe I haven't read up on it, are they going to take responsibility if this stuff shows up damaged?
Hell no.
So if they're not going to, then you're because looking at what they've got there is pretty minimal. I mean, it's got like one little tiny small bubble wrap bag, and then a little the oversized bubble wrap, and that's pretty much it. And then like a what are those?
Gemini mail.
Yeah, the Gemini. I was gonna say Gerber. I'm like Gemini mail. Yeah,
inside of a box.
So that's it. So you're basically getting 2 boxes that you could get for 50 cents or $1 a piece, and some bubble wrap that would cost you about $1. So You got about $2 in supplies there that they're charging $15.
I'm not saying it's a deal. I'm just saying people are going to buy it because they're going to have a clear-cut instruction how to send them in for somebody that's never done it. People pay shops all kinds of money to do the pressing and sending them in a group thing because they don't want to do it themselves.
It's for the newbies. Exactly. Why would you take responsibility? You packed it yourself. If this is for the newbies, CGC A+, you're not taking advantage. You are targeting the new audience. CBCS is not. Can't. But I was going to ask Michael, do you send in books to get graded, or do you only buy graded? That's what I was going to.
The only times I've ever actually gotten something graded myself is when CGC was at a con, and I was able to bring my books to the con.
Yeah.
And then I bring it directly to the CGC people.
Perfect. So would something like this, where you could buy a package, and let's say you buy it now, and you all right for Christmas. Thanks, honey, I love, you love me, or I love you, whatever. Thanks for paying for me to send these X amount of books into CGC. You buy it now in February. You're not going to use it till November or whatever to send in. Is this something?
Get it back next February.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
I said you get it back the following February.
Yeah. Does it appeal to you in any way?
So. I mean, looking around, I do have a lot of graded books, but to be quite honest with you, I'm not too big a fan of graded books just in general. I do love opening books and reading them and all that. I mean, I guess if it's something like an AF-15, probably something I don't think I'll ever be able to realistically get. But I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really apply to me because I don't know. I'm kind of paranoid when I ship anything, whether it's a comic book or just anything in general, that I bubble wrap the shit out of something, or if it's JB from Discovery Bay, I'll put a shit ton of peanuts in it. But I mean, it's a little inside joke there. JB hates peanuts.
Me too.
But yeah, I mean, for someone who doesn't really send anything in, no, it wouldn't appeal to me because of the same points you've already been making. We have the materials ourselves. Why would we pay $15 to somebody and then plus shipping to give them back their own box that they're just giving to me?
You're right. Yeah,
and they're just gonna send it back out to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
It really pisses me off. It's not free. I really thought it was free.
It wouldn't be free. Then they'd go broke like the postal system.
I love it.
They're about to go broke anyway.
I love the try. I'm going to give them that. I want to know.
They're going to do fine on it. I don't know what you guys are judging because you've been doing it for years.
Exactly. So I want to know the first person to see this package at a con is what I want to know.
No, but I think the other thing is brilliant. You're right. You mentioned it. Is they're using the box they send out now. They can probably recycle these dang things.
No. And Paul, I guarantee their booth now at all the cons, they're going to be selling these at the con.
That's what I mean. So the con or the con where you can't, the con where you can or cannot submit, to CGC. I want to know the first con where they're selling these packages.
Oh yeah, they're gonna force you to buy them because they're gonna say, "Oh, you got books you want to send in? We're not just gonna take them like normal. They're gonna go, here you go put this together. You gotta go put this together."
That I won't like. I hope not.
Then you go next door to CBCS.
But okay, so I go to this booth and I buy these 5 books. I don't want to submit them to CGC that day because I want to send them to Sean to get pressed.
Well, then you get a box and you take it home with you and you fill your book in it.
You buy the kit at the con that day. Or does CGC does cons where they don't do on-site grading?
Absolutely.
They're going to sell the kit. I hope if I was a CGC marketer, I would say, okay, the cons where we're not grading on-site, you sell the kits.
I just pissed that they're selling them. I really am. I really was 100% that this was free, man.
No way.
No, the shipping, the kit shouldn't be free, but shipping should be free.
Yeah.
That's just my 2 cents. I don't know.
Well, I agree with Comic Man Andy that the way to go is to drop off at the con if you ever get to con close enough. There's only a few that they do. I think Baltimore, maybe do they do it at C2E2?
Yes.
C2E2, Baltimore, I think Emerald City, right?
I don't know if they do.
They've been doing it at some of the smaller cities out here in California.
let me say something about con drop off weekend, same day grading. Z and Ben, you may be able to tell me this. The first person to drop the books off is the last person to pick them up, and vice versa.
It seems to happen that way to us. I don't know if that's always the case or if we just have bad luck, but yes.
You may miss your flight. You have to choose between your flight and your books.
Hey, let me just say, last year I dropped off, or I was there at C2E2 Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I dropped them off Friday. I was really early, and I dropped them off, and I was wanting to leave Sunday, and I'm sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. Like I saw everybody else go. I mean, I'm like sitting there at the extra room that they got.
I think you want to be the first person. That's what we've learned.
So then I'm like, forget this. I've got to go. It's getting really late. So I leave, and 40 minutes after I'm driving home, they send me a text and say, "Hey, your books are ready." I was not turning around, so I was like, "What are you going to do with them?" And they're like, "Oh, we'll just send them to you." 2.5 weeks later, they showed up. I could have sent them fast pass cheaper, and it would have came back to me faster than me dropping them off and them sending, because they don't even carry them back. They send them back to Florida, and then they repackage them and then send them back out.
Yeah, don't be the first person in line, we've learned. Or don't drop them off with Paul.
I don't even have shit on here. It's first in line, first on the bottom.
Hey, and I got hammered on those. So I've had much better luck sending them in than having them on site.
We've had that conversation before.
I got sidetracked. I want to say two things about cons. I'm doing 2 cons in the spring here. I'm going to do Friday at WonderCon. I'm making a guest appearance out there. Looking to see any of you guys on the West Coast that are hanging out. So
Heck yeah.
if you got your tickets to WonderCon, I'll be there Friday. Look for me with the Wookiee Sean, and we'll be hanging out.
And I think I'm going to be there too. I think I'm gonna,
right.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think WonderCon. I'm trying to make it out to the Northeast. What is
That's
it again?
the other one I was going to talk about. Is there's going to be a Comic Book Invest CBSI kind of group appearance at the Northeast Comic Con outside of Boston. That's March the 13th through the 15th.
Yes. Yep. And Z, are you going to that?
I am booked and ready. Mike Morello, who was on the show last week, will be there, as well as the great and epic Topher.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, I want to go to that.
I'm doing my best to get out there. I'm still at this moment 50-50. I'm waiting on some news, but I think WonderCon, because I'm so close to it, it's got to be a must this year. It's a 6-hour drive for me, so anytime I don't have to get in a plane, I'll take that. But
if you back out, Brian, I might be able to jump in, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be in contact.
So here's one really epic thing. One of the guests of the Northeast Comic Con is a guy that designs masks for a living, and Topher is going. So
Yeah.
the mask speculator may get himself a new look.
Yeah. So for any of you guys that don't follow Topher, and make sure you guys go check out comicbookinvest.com and all those guys over there writing those amazing articles. But I still say to this day, there was 2 people that grabbed me and pulled me into the CBSI collective. That's Topher and Tim Walker. So those 2 guys write some really great articles over there. Make sure you guys are checking them out.
Definitely.
Anything else, guys, that you can think of?
Yeah. We gotta give the spotlight back to Michael, our first guest on Flipside from another podcast.
Yes.
As far as we had we had a George on.
Yep.
From comicbookspeculation.com. Right?
Well, big shout out. We appreciate you coming on, Mike. Everybody go check out Downright Nerdy Podcast. Like and subscribe to their stuff. Make sure you subscribe. And sounds like if you guys subscribe over there, you might get lucky and be part of some kind of cool giveaway with all those books you see in his amazing fan cave behind him. So
thanks. Oh man, you made me big. You know, I got to make you big. Well, hey, thank you guys so much for having me on. Seriously, it's been a ton of fun. And make sure you tell oh geez, he left.
Deno.
Thank you. Tell him it was very nice hanging out with you guys. I really did have a great time. Thank you again for inviting me on, Paul. And dude, you guys have an open invite on our channel anytime I go live or whatever, or just open invite. Come on in anytime. And
Awesome.
if you guys ever are out here in the Bay, or if there's another con, I know you guys said you were on a WonderCon. I don't know if I'll be able to make WonderCon this year. Maybe. I just looked at the dates just now. I think I was looking at Los Angeles before Comic-Con, but yeah, I mean, hopefully we could meet up at a con. I'd absolutely love that, or even maybe do a collaboration panel of some sort. I think that'd be a ton of fun. Man, whatever. I'm always willing, and like I said, I've been getting a little bit better at this editing thing. So I'm having a lot more free time on the weekends now. So I gotta
edit these things. That's no idea. You edit
these things.
Yeah, dude, I do this whole thing with like the record button, and I gotta like splice it and make it look professional and pretend like I know what I'm doing.
It's professional. Oh god,
yeah.
Really true.
Someone's like, "Hey, where'd you go to school?" I'm like, "Dude, YouTube, 2.5 months.
Yes.
That's where I went to school."
Yes, YouTube is an amazing thing.
Yeah,
I agree.
So we can find you where, Michael? YouTube.
Oh yeah, sorry, I guess I should have said. Yeah, YouTube. DownrightNerdy.com. That's where you can find everything.
Yep,
All right.
that is by far, it looks like the best place for that right now. Another thing I want to say is we really appreciate you being here, but to everybody out there that's doing cool stuff in this community, whether it's a YouTube show or it's a podcast that's not on YouTube, whatever it is, hit us up. If we, aren't already in contact, we're much stronger than we are, when we're in contact and we're doing cool things together than we are apart. So make sure you guys check out Downright Nerdy. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel as well as Tales from the Flipside if you're not already. Make sure you check out the Comic Book Safari podcast. I think they're on, is it episode 3, Z, or episode 4 that's coming out?
4 will be dropping probably tomorrow. We're going to do Iron Man 1.
Okay, very cool.
Ooh.
So,
oh my God, Riley's been on a kick lately. She's been watching everything from the beginning. It's been kind of fun, except for on Disney Plus, they don't have the Hulk on because it was owned by Universal, right?
Yeah.
So I got I was at my LCS and I got an alert on my phone like, oh, Amazon, you've rented Incredible Hulk. I'm like, all right, I can't really be mad at this. That's fine.
I Ghost Rider dropped on Netflix, so I'm gonna check that out with the kids.
Yeah.
How fun is it, Michael, to have Riley? Not, I'm hesitant to say this any other way. I apologize. To not know as much as you, to experience her.
Well, I mean, it's nothing that I'm not used to with her anyway. It's okay.
Well, she's not listening live in the next room. Good night. But
I'll pay for it later.
How fun is it to expose someone that you care about to watch them experience this to something that you like? Tremors the other day. My wife hadn't seen it in so long. She said, "I remember they were a lot bigger." And I just kind of kept my mouth shut because that's what she said. But that was their their tongues or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's been a ton of fun because one, I mean, we all saw these movies or read these books and things like this when we were younger, and it really captivated us, right, into kind of growing to where we're at right now. And it's really neat seeing somebody go through it for the first time, and we don't have kids yet, so I mean. I can't wait till whenever it is we do start popping them out, and I get to show these same things to them, and they could kind of say, like, knowing my luck, they'll probably end up hating this shit. But you know what I mean, though, like seeing someone go through what you went through only at a later age, and they're just having a great time with it. Her first comic book that she read was the Saga series on trade.
Nice.
Yeah, and she's been loving it, and it's really, really fun, like watching her kind of go through it. And I mean, for us, the big thing is like she's having fun and she's enjoying having talking about it, and for I don't know for better or for worse, but one of our biggest things is we're big Office fans. And we relate everything to The Office, no matter what it is. We'll end up just making some kind of Office reference to it. And man, those are cool. What are we looking at?
So I didn't mean to get you off topic.
No,
but,
that one. What was that?
So this is the Great Walker Report on comicbookinvest.com. This is one of those guys I was talking about, Tim Walker, who keeps putting out amazing articles. He writes an article called the Walker Report. For those of you guys that don't know, go to comicbookinvest.com, check out the Walker Report. This is his latest report, and he does a little mock write up on the books that he's buying and the crazy stuff out there. And he's got a nice little score of Lady Mechanica stuff. And for those of you guys, this is a huge spec book right now, and a tough book to find, especially the first prints of number 0 and number 1. But amazing Joe Benitez created a book that he does on his own, and I think it got optioned recently, so make sure you guys are checking that out. And these are the beautiful J. Scott Campbell covers that he did for the what were these? The Aspen. The Aspen variants. So beautiful books. So Walker is just puts out some amazing articles on some really rare books that are not really easy to find, but you can find them out there. But we kind of key in on the amazing articles every month. So make sure you guys check out comicbookinvest.com, and do yourself a favor, go check out the store variants at comicbookinvest.com. This is a recent store variant update article with the Wolverine variant. I believe this is what is this? Wolverine number 1, Comic Book Invest exclusive. Wolverine number 1 with IG Comics Store. There you guys go. Beautiful black and white variant that you just saw. Doing a good job out there with the variants and stuff like that on comicbookinvest.com. And if you guys remember, all the variants there, $1 goes to charity. There's spotlight on some other cool store variants that are doing cool things out there. So we want to show our love to comicbookinvest.com and CBSI. Make sure you guys check it out. Other than that, I think we're done for the night. We appreciate you guys joining us in the chat. The live chat tonight was awesome. We appreciate everybody in there. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, guys.
Downright Nerdy Podcast. Appreciate it.